Hey everyone! Alright, so here I am to talk about The Hobbit, The Battle of the Five Armies, the final installment of this really epic trilogy. Last night I went to Cineworld to see the triple bill showing of the full trilogy, and it was a lot of fun. It really was. Started at 6 p.m. and we got out that cinema for about 2:25 to 3 in the morning. But you know what? It really went well. It was packed, got a huge turnout, which was fantastic. And it was really great getting to see the first and second movies on the big screen again. But of course, what we were all there to see was the final installment. So we best just dive right into it now. So this, of course, this is going to be a spoiler talk, as my reviews usually are. So forewarned is forearmed. But if you're just looking for a couple of word summary, a couple of word review of this movie, it's awesome. It really is. It lives up to the expectation, and it's been worth the wait. It's been worth the wait. It won't disappoint, I don't think. Hell of a lot of fun. It really is. And again, if you're someone who's a passive viewer of these Middle-earth movies, who goes into it and, as a passive viewer, just looking to enjoy the action that's on show, you won't be disappointed here, because there's plenty of action on display in this one. As the title suggests, the Battle of the Five Armies. Oh, there's going to be a huge battle in it. Yeah, it doesn't disappoint. So yeah, getting into the movie. So the movie starts, and as you might expect, we pick up right where we left off at the end of the Desolation of Smaug, with the dragon en route to Erebor. And this film doesn't waste any time. It gets straight into it. The dragon's coming. Everyone knows it. Everyone's trying to get the hell out of Dodge. You've got Toriel. You've got Feely, Keely, Borfa. You've got Oin, and you've got Bard's two daughters, and of course Bane. And they're getting in a boat, and they're getting the hell out of there. And of course, Stephen Fry, the master of Lake Town, he's getting in a boat. He's getting all his gold and stuff, and everyone trying to get the hell out of Dodge. Of course, poor Luke Evans, Bard, our hero, he's still locked up in prison, and the guards have gone. They've just gone AWOL. Like I say, abandon your posts, flee for your lives, in the words of Lord Denethor. That's exactly what the hell they're doing. So, and obviously Luke Evans knows what's about to happen, so he's got to get the hell out of there, and he is trying everything. He's trying to kick the door down. He's trying to rip the rails off the hinge, rip the door off its hinges, rip the rails out of the wall. He's trying everything. Anyway, he eventually manages to escape in quite spectacular fashion. So he gets out of the prison, heads straight for the armory, gets himself a longbow, gets himself a quiver of arrows, and sets off straight to work. Oh man, he is chasing Smaug over the rooftops, and obviously Smaug's attack on Lake Town, if you thought his attack in the prologue of An Unexpected Journey was something to behold, and it was, it really was, this just blows that, this leaves that in the dust. It blows it right out of the water. Oh my god. They really do a good job of capturing the destructive nature of this dragon. We finally see what the fear is about, and the fear that these people of Middle-earth have for dragons is justified. Smaug swoops in, and instantly, within seconds, you've got a long row of buildings engulfed in flames, buildings collapsing, this buildings being wiped out by the dragon's tail, things like that. Honestly, there is fire everywhere. The whole city is engulfed within 10-15 seconds. But yeah, Luke Evans is in hot pursuit of the dragon, and he eventually gets up in the bell tower. Now, there's been some debate as to whether he'd use the dwarfish wind lance to kill the dragon. No, that doesn't happen. He goes to he gets up in the bell tower, and of course he's using his bow and arrow, firing shot after shot at the dragon, but just, you know, he's not missing. His aim's right on, but the hell of it for him is, you know, bouncing off the, you know, dragon's hide, as they call it, you know, hard as dragon scales. Arrows, a bow and arrow isn't going to cut it. Fortunately, Bane, on his way out of Lake Town in the boat with Toriel and everyone, they passed the boat in which he hid the black arrow at the end of the second movie. So he sees his dad up in the bell town and says, I've got to go, I've got to do something. So he manages to get out the boat, grabs the black arrow and heads on up to the bell tower to meet up with his dad, and you know, gives him the black arrow, because by that point Luke Evans is completely out of arrows. He's got none left, you know. Like I say, the dragon is, you know, by no means, you know, the dragon's by no means injured. So yeah, Bane gets up in the tower, meets up with his dad. Dad, here's the black arrow, and then at that point, Smaug, his eyes lock on that bell tower. The lock on Bard, the lock on Bane. They are in trouble now. And Smaug swoops past the tower and takes the roof off of the tower. And of course, Bard and Bane are just floored by the force of the dragon swooping past. And obviously, when they get back to the feet, Luke Evans makes a grab for his bow. Oh Jesus, the bow's broke. Yeah, when the dragon swooped and took the roof off this bell tower, the bow got broke in the process. Damn. So we've got the black arrow, but we've got nothing to fire it with. Damn. Or so we think. Because Smaug comes back around and he's heading straight for them again. And this time he isn't going to bother swiping at them with the tail. Oh no, they're going to get the full force of the they're going to get full fire from the mouth. Yeah. He's through playing around. So, Luke Evans, thinking on his feet, puts together what is the most inspirational makeshift bow I have ever seen. Because obviously he gets either side of the bow, you know, so two parts of the bow. Obviously the bow string's still intact, thankfully. He manages to fasten one part of the bow to one of the pillars of the bell tower that were holding up the roof, and he attaches the other end to the other pillar, and of course sets the black arrow to the bow. And of course that's all good and well, but obviously he needs something to rest the arrow on while he aims. So what does he use? He uses Bane's shoulder, everybody. Yeah, Bane, you stand in front of me, son. Don't worry. Whatever you do, keep looking at me. Don't turn around, because you're not going to like the view, because there's this terrifying dragon heading straight for us. But keep calm, alright? Okay, I'm going to rest this arrow on your shoulder while I adjust my aim. Don't worry. Don't panic, alright? I need you to stay as still as possible, because we've only got one shot here. We've only got one arrow. But don't panic. It's going to be fine, as long as you know, a little to the left. Yeah. Oh, that's good. Hold that. And yeah, the dragon is flying right for them, and right at the last minute, Luke Evans launches the bow, and it goes right in into that part of the dragon of Smaug's chest where the missing scale is, because obviously when Luke Evans is firing his arrows at the dragon earlier, he does clock where the missing scale is. So haha, the legend is true. So he knows what to aim for, and yeah, he gets him. And do you know what? Smaug's death scene is quite spectacular, actually. It really is, because yeah. Because again, you see the light go out of Smaug's eyes, because he takes the arrow in the chest, and then he doesn't die instantly. He changes his course and swoops off way past the bell tower and further up into the sky and away from the town. And then the light goes out of his eyes, and with a cry, he just falls right into the water below. So that's the dragon taken care of within the first 10 minutes of the movie. Personally, I'm one of those people who hated the way the second movie ended with that cut to black. I genuinely think that Desolation of Smaug should have ended with the dragon being killed. But that's just me. You know, but the way they've done it, it does make quite a fitting opening scene. It really does. It's a really good opening scene. I'd say it's up there with the opening from the Two Towers, where Gandalf and where we see what happened when Gandalf got dragged from the bridge with the Balrog. So yeah, really good opening scene. Sorry, I've got my notes here to consult because I wouldn't want to. So then, yes. Following that, of course, we have the aftermath of what happened, with the people of Lake Town. All of their homes have been destroyed. They've lost everything. What are we gonna do? Oh, and of course, Stephen Fry, the Master of Lake Town, as I say, he was trying to make his escape. He dies. He dies quite spectacularly, because when the dragon falls, it falls right on top of the boat he is on. Oh yeah, Stephen Fry gets wiped out by the dragon, and not in the way you might think. What did he get caught in the firestorm? No, the dragon fell on him. Yeah, so the Master of Lake Town is out of the picture now. So the people of Lake Town are, of course, without a leader. And while during all of this aftermath, the gathering what supplies they can, and then Percy, who we're introduced to in the second film, who managed the gate in and out of Lake Town, he comes in and I think it's Percy. He says, Bard killed the dragon. We should be praising him. And we need a new leader, and I couldn't think of a better choice. So Bard is set to become the King of Lake Town, of course, and it's made clear quite quickly, and of course we know it's made clear in the second film too. Bard isn't someone who seeks fortune and glory, so Bard has been unofficially appointed the king, and he doesn't want to be king. But do you know what? In this movie, when he's appointed king, he does a good job of rising to the challenge. He really, really does. So Bard is appointed king of Lake Town, and of course everyone's looking to him now. What do we do? So he says, right, gather what you can, and we're going to head to Dale. We're going to go to the ruins of Dale, and we're going to go up the mountain, and we're going to find out whether Thorin and company are still alive, and if they are, we're going to ask Thorin, of course, to honour his promise to. Do you remember in the second film he said, I will give the people of Lake Town enough gold to rebuild Esgaroth 10 times over. So we're going to go to the mountain, and we're going to talk to Thorin and get him to honour his promise to us. So that's the plan. So Bard and the people of Lake Town go to Dale, and of course, following that, the Erebor 4, Keely, Feely, Biffa and Oin return, or well, not return because they haven't been yet, finally arrive at the mountain. Yeah, so of course, following the dragon attack, obviously they're there with everyone else in the aftermath, and then of course when Bard and the townspeople set off to Dale, they take a boat and head off to the mountain. And then, sorry again, consulting my notes. Yeah, they arrive at the mountain and they're met by Bilbo, and Bilbo tells them, you know, you guys, you shouldn't have come here. You need to leave. And they're like, why? What's the problem? And Bilbo says it's Thorin. He's something is very, very wrong with Thorin. He's changed, and he has, because the first shot of Thorin in this movie, the expression on his face is completely unlike we've ever seen from him before. You know, the instant we see him in this movie, we know something is not, obviously, as soon as they got to the mountain at the back end of the second movie, something changed like that, and we knew something wasn't right. But as soon as we see him, from the first shot of him in this third movie, we know instantly there is, you know, something really off about this character. Like with Patrick Wilson in Insidious 2, you know, we take a look at him, there's something not quite right about that guy. Damn right there's something not quite right about that guy, because he's been possessed by the Bride in Black. Similar sort of thing here, and of course Bilbo realises this instantly, and of course Balin realises this. So yeah, Bilbo says you shouldn't have come back, you should have stayed well away, but of course these dwarfs won't have any of it because of how loyal they are to Thorin. And then Balin later explains what is actually up with Thorin. He dubs it dragon sickness. This is what it, because of course they've made it clear. They make it clear in this movie, and they've made it clear in the second movie that, you know, and even in the first movie, you know, that treasure hoard within the mountain, a sickness lies over that treasure hoard, and that's what it is, dragon sickness. You know, that treasure hoard, whoever owns it, of course now it's Thorin, drives him mad. It drove Thror mad, Thorin's grandfather. Now it's driving Thorin mad. So yeah, it's dragon sickness. And essentially the way they do it in this movie is, it's kind of like Thorin's suffering from a form of, you know, multiple personality disorder, or dissociative identity disorder, whichever you prefer. Yeah, because we have moments where Thorin and Bilbo are having some interaction, and Thorin's really nice to him, but then instantly he can change and be really horrible, and he becomes really like a taskmaster. He becomes really like, these dwarfs who have been with him through thick and thin, they're nothing more than his workforce now, and of course he becomes really suspicious and mistrusting of everyone as well, because what happens is, obviously they get settled in the mountain, and then obviously everyone is united as returns to, you know, the Erebor 4 arrive, so everyone's back together again. And no sooner do they all get back together again, Thorin sets everyone to work looking for the Arkenstone. You know, find the Arkenstone. And he even says, no one rests until it's found. So this is very unlike what we've seen and heard from Thorin so far. You know, this is really strange. And we subsequently find But the reason no one can find the Arkenstone is because Bilbo's taken it. Bilbo's taken the Arkenstone, and he says, this is what I've taken as my 14th share. Because, of course, in that contract it says he's entitled to a share not exceeding 1/14 of the total haul. And he gets talking to Balin at one point, saying, because of course he doesn't he doesn't admit at that so far to anyone that he has the Arkenstone. He's keeping it a secret, but he says to Balin, if they found the Arkenstone and they gave it to Thorin, would it make things better or worse? In terms of the way Thorin's descent into madness. And Balin says, I genuinely believe it would make him worse. Yeah, so perhaps it's better if the Arkenstone is never found. Because I think Balin, it's pretty clear that Balin twigs when Bilbo comes to him and asks him that he knows Bilbo has the Arkenstone. Yeah. So, while all that good stuff's going on, we now return to Dol Guldur.